virgin coming to the mic. I love this. You put it phonetic. Kirstie Hart.
Mrs. Azerbaijan. Third off the corner, high stairs, a funny green brick place. She waits with a bowl of candy, waits for us to walk on by, the young mom and two skipping sunbeams. "Honey, honey," she cries. Curly heads bob up the porch steps, in through the door, hopping on over to a colorfully wrapped smile, thick legs wound by beige bandages, a handkerchief resting on a tangled mass of gray. She smells of damp, dark places, an ancient, moldy volume on a shelf. The two butterflies dance at her knees, begging for treats. She hands them yellow sweets, crinkly covered. "Don't get tummy ache now, honey." A bent hand pats a new face. "Are you from my village?" Wide, watery eyes ask. I've stopped saying no. "Yes, we've come for a visit." "They came, you know. They came and they shot them all. Every one. My sister, she was so pretty, so pretty. She was 17. She tried to hide them, but they got them." The butterflies know this game and flit away down the street. "They shot her first, then they shot them all." She's rocking now and holding her great round belly, sobbing. "Even the baby, even the little baby, like your babies, they were all dead. Only I lived. I was at school. They did not kill, but I found them. I found them. Why did they do this?" she asks me. I, who live in this dream place, she can't see. Across 85 years, she still sees Turks gunning down angels.
So, without further ado, if we can have my precious one come on down. You know her, you love her. We can have Miss Marissa Shorter come on down.
Wow. It's been about 11 or 12 years, and you cry for help, no one seems to hear. And while the ears are closed, no one that can help is near. And you live in so much fear, not knowing where your next meal is, not knowing where your next dollar is. You feel that a collar is holding you, keeping you back. And you feel that the path is... I'm sorry. Wow, it's been about 11 or 12 years, and you cry for help, no one seems to hear. And while the ears are closed, no one that can help is near. And you live in so much fear, not knowing where your next meal is, not knowing where your next dollar is. You feel that a collar is what holds you, what keeps you, what puts you back. And you feel that the path you walked is overlapped, and it went in circles. And over the years, you're not that vocal. You want to say no, but can't. This life is you, and you try, but can't repent. Why? Because you've done it all over again. And you feel that this battle can't be won. Why? Because as a person, you are one. No one knows what it is that you go through because it's your story and it's only in your view. But there are a few who had a taste of what you live. It was curiosity turned to atrocity, and your only wish is to rewind the past and what's going on through your mind. And now, while you're trying, you have no idea of what to do. It's like the flu or any other disease. All you can do is say, "Lord, help me, please. I'm begging on my knees. I just want to be free." These are your words and thoughts, and in a built-back holes where you're hopelessly caught. And you try not to stay there because of all the times you fought. Fought to stay clean, and you know this world is truly mean, and only you can overcome. But as mother and daughter, we are one.
I'm just going to say ream, and I'm going to leave it at that. When I come back, you'll understand why I just left it. Come on down.
I am in love. In love with the hope that freedom might exist today. In love with the hope that oppression passed away. Praying that our efforts aren't rotten and decayed. I'm in love with the hope that all can be free. Practicing their religion without a threat on their lives or psyche. But this love is the love of hapless lovers. Hoping for something that doesn't hover over our time, day, and age. Love today breeds no more than hate. Love today is a label used to violate, destroy, and create animosity. Look at the history of this country and tell me everything under the label of freedom and love wasn't done in hostility. The Native Americans weren't robbed of their right to live and breathe on this land while occupiers filled their pockets with gold nuggets and dollars in hand in hand. The brothers and sisters Brothers and sisters weren't lynched because of their skin tone colors after church while white supremacists gather not in horror but in honor. That children weren't abused into working endless hours of hard labor while rich men sat on plush couches and smoked cigars, not lifting a finger. That women aren't sexually harassed by their coworkers and peers and they're labeled whore or prostitute just because they're trying their hardest to succeed and they're left jobless with mouths to feed. This is why I'm a self-proclaimed activist fighting for the liberation of my people. Maybe the depth of my words may actually hit the ignorant and feeble. I'm a student educating myself to the highest degree of capability. Instead of remaining blind to all that is happening around me, I spit out the spoon-fed poison that the media is feeding me and look for the real news. Look for the real news that is happening daily. Palestinians lost in constant struggle, Iraqi coerced civil conflict, and the plight of Afghani rebels. See, I know that this country, well, hopefully not anymore. I know that this country gives birth to hatred, just like the Jenna 6 nooses hanging off trees and claiming it isn't a racist statement when my Muslim brothers are being detained and respect is wiped out with their nails pulled, waterboarding, religious desecration, dietary manipulation, and sleep deprivation, family destroyed, all in the name of protecting our liberty, while innocents pay for it with their sanity. I'm a mouthpiece, challenging all condescending words, such as calling revolutionaries who try to change the ignorant world fascists, terrorist extremists, and violent herds. I am an arm fighting for the sisterhood against all abusers. I am the next Rosa Parks ignoring the demands of my oppressors. I am the next Khadija bint Khuwaylid financially and emotionally supporting my brothers and sisters. I am the next Aisha bint Abi Bakr seeking knowledge till my deathbed. I am the next Sojourner Truth questioning the norms of racism and sexism. Ain't I a woman? I'm in love with the hope that freedom might exist today, in love with the hope that oppression passed away, praying that our efforts aren't rotten and decayed. I'm in love with the hope that all can be free, and this freedom comes only with the relentless action, faith, and commitment provided when change starts internally.
If I could have Shaw Black make his way down to the stage.
I do not know your name, but yet beautiful colors fly over my eyes. May I take a skydive into your mind and pull all the crayons and pencils of pleasure? Rainbow tears pour out a song's cry. I just want you to be satisfied. No games, no lies, just truth. Maybe over dinner. Maybe then I can rewind time and rewind your disappointments, and then create for you a present day that just worships your very presence, your essence. Because what used to be violent red is now what is now violet blue seems to be your heart's hue. Yellow caution tape around your heart, presenting words of caution and beware and danger. But you cannot see what I see. Your rainbow, your perfect cloud. Lead me to your treasure, because that smile is my reward. My pot of gold. Let me show you what love really is, so your heart can now turn violet, beautiful red, because the various colors switching as a mood ring are no more. I just want you to see flying colors, because no one can see what I see. Your beautiful colors. I just want you to be satisfied. I just want you to rest easily on my shoulders. Maybe then you shall know I'm the one for you. Because I can't see no one else. Because all I see is you. And now all I see are beautiful colors. Thank you. All right, this next piece is a new piece. I haven't performed it yet, so if I stumble, let it go. It's called Lion King. I do not know him. I've only seen him on the count of 4 times. First time, I was a baby. Second, I was 11 years old. And the other 2 times were in my dreams, where I imagined him taking on his fatherly duties, teaching me the way the pride lands as if I was Simba and he was my Mufasa. Plenty of warm summer nights, I just wish he taught me how to play ball, catch, fish. Hell, teach me about the birds and the bees, anything that would have benefited from the grand scale of my manhood. I often heard stories about you. Tales of your honor, valor, and dignity, but destroyed by the deities of your depression. They said you knew your Bible like no other man, and that your faith in his word was often compared to men of the cloth. but no cloth could protect you for your next actions. From 2 states away, you strayed away the only strain of family you had for an ounce bag. Well, as your son, I just have a couple of questions. Was it worth it? Was it worth your marriage? Was it worth your life? And more importantly, was it worth your son? You see, I imagine you taking on your fatherly duties, teaching me the way to Pride Lands, Simba and Mufasa. But the hyenas took you away. And now there's just a scar over my heart. You see, it was my uncles and my stepfather that taught me how to carry my swag and, do the things that a man's supposed to do. And I'm not doubting my stepfather. He was a great man and no one else cared for me like him, but I just wanted to know what it was like to be known by you. Do we laugh the same way? Do we talk the same way? Do we have any of the same interests? I just wanted to know you. I imagine you taking on your fatherly duties, teaching me the way to Pride Lands, but I'll never know what that's like because the hyenas took you away. Now there's just a scar over my heart.
I'm telling you, just dope for no reason. So Rubah, come on down, girl. Now Rubah, wait until the school bus pulls up and don't forget to shut the door. Those are my instructions. They were heard and processed. But please, at the time I was only 5 years old. So my mother left me with those words, heard but definitely not obeyed. As a kid, I was a problem child, getting suspended in kindergarten. Even in her presence, I ignored her. As her car seemed to shrink, I waved goodbye and schemed. I waited a whole 5 Mississippis before I slinked inside, hiding inside the shadows as if my mother had eyes in the light bulbs. I tiptoed into the kitchen and scrambled to the counter, then up on top of the fridge, where my mother kept the cookie jar filled with Halloween candy. This being months after trick-or-treating, the only candies left were Smarties and Tootsie Rolls. But that didn't stop my greedy little hands from reaching in and eating them until my tummy turned. As I sat on top of the world, I noticed a flick of yellow. The school bus was waiting in front of my house. Even as a kid, I was lazy and didn't want to get down. I marveled at my power, the power of having the house to myself. No adults telling me what to do, no one to tell me to be quiet. I spent the day creating havoc in my house. The couch's cushions became my fort, the pillows my landing strip, the laundry a tunnel, roller skate marks skidding the kitchen tiles, and the fridge door open, a bite taking out of everything, and soggy cat food spilling out of a cereal bowl. My fun was interrupted by the sudden shrill of the phone. I heard the teacher's voice. "Hello," I sang. She asked me to hand the phone to my mom. I said that she wasn't there and that I was babysitting my brother. The weird thing was he wasn't born yet. She hung up. She hung up, and I went in search of something else to destroy. Later, I heard a knock on the door. I peeked out the window and saw 2 tall men dressed in blue and a police car in the driveway. I frantically looked around and rushed to hide inside the laundry basket. "Hello, is anyone there?" asked one of the men, and I innocently answered, "No one's home." But the door was unlocked, and the men in blue came in. They searched for me and eventually found me under the laundry giggling. They asked me where my mom was, and I told them that she told me to take the school bus, and I didn't listen to her. I got on the back seat of the cruiser and was worried because there were no seatbelts, and my mom said that if I didn't wear my seatbelt, I'd end up in jail. We went to the police station, and I pointed to the cell and said, "I want that one." The cops laughed and put me in an office. I spent the rest of the afternoon there, and most of the evening, not knowing at the same time, my mother was frantically trying to convince the authorities that she had never left me alone before and that she wasn't a bad mother. Eventually they were convinced, and my mother came into the office. She hugged me, she kissed me, then yelled and smacked me, and took me back home. Thank you. Because we have a virgin coming up to the microphone. Ooh, I know. So we got to show her some love. I mean, like the first time kind of love. So let's give it up, please, for Calela.
The struggle from within this skin. I breathe to exhale the pain of my ancestors' untold story. The story of slavery that they put in history books just to make it good enough for us to read or good enough for us to take. But my ancestor's soul still hangs from a tree. This tree feeding off soil that is polluted and the lies are rooted. So the fruit that this tree bears doesn't have seeds to live on. Our legacy is being made as I speak. Black Sister took emotion in speech and then turned it into poetry. My goal is to reach minds. If there were more of me, they would want to make me silent. For speaking the truth is seen as defiant and rebellious. So they might gel us, but a soul can't be caged. They need to inhale us. Because as I speak, I feel oppression being uplifted. And as I write, I thank God. For if you call me talented or gifted, it still wouldn't describe. These words have a deeper purpose. Taking root, they emerge to the surface. Soul is revived, spirit alive. Spoken word flows through me like the blood in me. I have no choice. Use this voice or die. Use this voice or die. For voices unheard are souls not alive. And so I write. I write continuously for those who are too afraid to speak, for those who are depressed, oppressed, and weak, for those who need to hear this just to get through the next day. Poetry is my strength, for my weakness lies in my silence. And so I wrote this and I speak this for you. Thank you.
But without further ado, one of my favorite poets, if we could please have Mr. Bill Burkholder make his way down.
I have been accused of banging a drum to my own rhythms. At times, offbeat with the quo, non-lock stepping, cracking off keys and wind-up human clockworks. Call me cynic, but I am tired of blindly believing media mediocrity. Stench swelling my nostril, blood-beating TV screen and radio speaker. Oh, how blessed it would be if we could find the forbidden fruits of peace. Yet we dine with indignity and destruction, malfunctioning menus, where the white snow of late-hour TV screen is instead drenched with blood and gore of war and amputated children. Dirty bandages autographing our hearts. Rusty bed springs squeaking from saltwater washdowns, and yet no amount of water will ever wash the carnage away. Is it so difficult then to reason why a different drum must be played? Thank you.
So without further ado, I want to give it up for Miss Christina Brooks, my favorite rune warrior.
Way up along the tree branches where all is a sway and the wind dances and tickles the daylight dappled there, I see them often hopping and hiding, weaving and gliding in and out of sight. And I hastily grasp at them if I can. I seek to taste their tang in the snow that lightly clothes displaying branches. And I touch the sunlight glinting off the early morning snowfall that still lingers there and beckons to me. Oh, how I eagerly search for them in every swale and leafy hollow, among the tangle of the bramble and the chuck-chuck whispered by the whippoorwill. Down along the sidewalk in the city, they lie there open in plain view, words woven in the landscape like tendril fibers, glass and vapor, cigarette butt and oily slick, lying there like lost nickels waiting to be found. Scampering along the pavement like loose newspaper, taking flight that stirs the pigeons from their sleeping roosts. The words lurk and huddle in shards of broken glass, subway corners, old garages, ice cream parlors, waiting, sneaking, running, peeking, playing, hiding, hiding, sometimes quietly, in the torn, smudged pockets of the homeless beggar that's eating scraps there on the corner stoop. They are the findings I work to pull together, pearls and baubles, leaf and straw, the words that I search to weave and string, to write and form my world here on this empty page, seeking them in unlikely places, sometimes loosing them from the traces of the scent left by your lingered kiss, or the bristled shadow on your unshaved face. Some are hard to find, unwilling victims in the game of hide and seek. Those words are wrapped in worn-torn images and sleepless nights of tears and sweat. They are words abandoned in the waste bin of bitter anger and penetrating loss. They are not easy words to find, but I seek them nonetheless. I try to give them the expression they deserve. Why do I seek them? Why the compulsion to express? It's hard to explain, but there is a hidden wisdom I see mirrored in the ordinary and tasted in the common. A wisdom that brings clarity to life, understanding. I hear it in the words of poets and writers seeking to express it. Sometimes it is bold and strong. Sometimes it is soft or fragile, but always it is more. More than the sum of the words penned upon the paper, more than the words wrapped in the hearts of those who search and place them there. For in the seeking there is finding, and in the finding there is truth. In all I write or search for, that is what I yearn, expression for the lost, the relevant, the significant, expression for the hidden truth that lurks in the all. Thank you.
If we could have SCJ the poet, if we could have him come on down.
I'm a black man with pride that can't be broken. I'm a black man with a cause. I'm a black man with a solution that can fix anything that I see fit to. I'm a black man with a hunger and desire for success. I'm a black man trying to survive. I'm a black man willing to change for the best. I am a black man with a gift, and I am a black man with a curse. I am a black man that sheds blood and sweat and tears. I'm a black man struggling to stay alive in a loveless world with hate and envy. I am a black man seeking justice for the weak and the blind. I am a black man that witnessed history in the making in D.C. I am a black man that is also a black poet with a purpose.
Now this next poet is no stranger to the poetry pages of Scribes. Mikey has made it to my top 10 list of metro area poets. I'm gonna warn you, please don't make him mad. Because he reminds me kind of like, don't make me angry. He is fire. He is insane. He is so talented. So please give it up for my friend and poet, Zach Ashley.
This is for the people who are always blowing their nose, who pack a pound of Kleenex wherever they go, who can't finish a sentence without having to sneeze. This is for the ones who suffer severe allergies. You don't know what it's like to appreciate a spring day until you can't smell a thing with all that snot in the way. You're trying to enjoy your picnic, but your sinuses are swollen from that filth flowers put in the air. I think it's called pollen. Allergies can be horrible. Dating a girl who's hot, she might lean in to kiss you and get a face full of snot. And it isn't because you're allergic to her, but the girl has a cat and her clothes are covered in its fur. Can't even go into stores with carpet on the floors without sneezes blowing me backwards through the front door. If they didn't want me blowing this bugle nose in their sights, then they'd get rid of all their carpet mold and their dust mites. Some women will wear this putrid perfume. It smells so strong that it pollutes the whole room. So would they wear so much if they really understood that there are people like me who can't breathe because they gotta stink so good? But going to work is the worst. It is the height of unjust. When you walk into your office and you can smell the dust because management won't pay to clean out the air vents and they don't get what that pile of used Kleenex on your desk represents. So this is for the people who've considered buying stock in puffs, because no matter how many boxes they buy, it's never enough. For the ones who must examine the mucus in their tissues to gauge the extent of their allergenic issues. For those that blow their nose so loud the whole world can hear. Rejoice, brothers and sisters, your time is near. I salute you, my friends, with a loud exhalation of nasal goo. Blow your nose proudly. Let no allergen silence you. This is a poem that I wrote when I was 16, which was years ago. And I always sort of knew, even when I wrote this poem, that if I ever stopped performing this poem, then it will have meant that I've lost something in my life. So This is my favorite poem that I do. It's called Ode to Schizophrenia. I hear voices in my head, and they tell me, show me why they want me dead. I see lightning, red lightning in the sky, but I'm the only one who really knows why. Could it be you can't see maybe, but you're often so quick to call me crazy? They are everywhere, man. Why can't you see that the whole frigging world is out to get me? It's a conspiracy, man, an elaborate plot. I'm sure that it is. I won't believe that it's not. Your society frightens me to no end, and then you laugh at me and my loser friends. The mailman, I'm sure, was one of them. He was watching so closely, I had to kill him. My next door neighbor is one of them too. You're all one of them. You, and you. I can't take you watching me no more. I'll expose you all, you power whores. Mort Krim, Carmen Harlan, Emery King, they've all been programmed to deny everything. Every night I'm watching them on my TV, and they're looking back right at me. And the rope in my head was pulled so tight that when it went, I could hear the sound of the snap echoing in my head for days. Zach can't take it no more, you horrible hacks. Zach ran around naked with a fire axe. Everyone, you're all one of them, man. Zach will kill as many of you as he possibly can. Here come the police. Zach will kill them too. The uniforms turn red on the boys in blue. They all jumped Zach and took his axe away. They calmly told Zach, it'll be okay. Zach is a doctor now, in a padded cell. The only voice who still talks to him is a man named Mel. See, they think they know what Zach's about, but Zach will kill them all as soon as he gets out.
Let's please give it up for our last poet on the open mic before we get ready for our feature. She is hilarious. She had me cracking up last time. I really thought she was touched. Well, I mean, to a certain degree, we're all touched. But she is hilarious. So please give it up for Miss Ashley Name.
Counselor said, sit down and take a seat. Tension thick as my hair after trying to blow dry it. Questions, open-ended. Answers on the defense. We sat and calmly said, okay. Something about remembering our past. Meeting that day, talking in the car, breakfast by candlelight. We smiled. Counselor suggested we address our present. Okay. Hundreds of miles away, phone calls, sometimes conversations. Remembers of whatever, and no, you're good. Visions of, I snatched the engine out your car. Our faces went blank. Counselor grinned, nodded. So what about the future? A future? Something about finishing school, getting a studio loft, traveling, owning a business or 2 or 4, children, early retirement. He looked at me, I stared at him. Anticipation, hope, pessimism, doubt. We didn't mesh. Why the lopsidedness? Is the love still there in the future? I rubbed my neck, mumbled something about when I was ready. Snapped back and demanded why I never spoke till now. Shouted I had, have, and won't anymore. I've become content, satisfied with the switch of roles, and my high, unimaginable level of festivity makes me too busy to hear you, see your point of view, listen to, love, care that much about you. Counselor watched silently. He said he never meant to hurt me. Didn't know. He's sorry. Baby, boo-boo, you gotta talk to me. What do you want to do? Well, I licked my lips, stood up, suggested we schedule our next 12 sessions, then woke up. And finally, as every poet always makes their dedicated ode to poetry, the first love I ever wrote. I can't honestly remember the month nor the date. In fact, none of that's important. All I can remember is the pen and the pad and the hand that was held when the words decided to come out. Like rushing water, they came out. I just had to recall what all was spoke, for this was the first. He said, hey, in such a nonchalant way. And I played the role of the unimpressed, I suppose. But what struck me more than anything was the anticipation and the articulation, the enunciation, pronunciation. I disposed of my old habits, thoughts, ways, for this was the first. Didn't plan on initiating it. Kind of caught myself off guard when I felt the touch of his lips. And my heart swelled in the haiku of his hyperbole, for this was the first. Love me, he informed me, freely. With every agitated breath, I gave my mind, and we've been at this for quite some time. Metaphorically, it's like a simile how we all came to be, lyrics, prose, verbal ecstasy. I couldn't roll to the side of my bed without touching the top of its head, for this love affair is unlike any other, almost greater than the love of a first lover. It aches, reiterates, regurgitates my soul, for poetry is the first love I ever wrote. Thank you.
Embraceable Me. Embraceable Me is about what happens when you're finally comfortable in your own skin and you accept who you are. And for me, that poem is important to help me accept myself as a woman and accept my voice as a poet. Becoming someone that people want to embrace instead of hold at arm's length. Treasured, no longer devalued. Wearing my vulnerability gently, shedding my coat of armor. Men look at me with soft eyes, plump baby arms stretched toward me lovingly. My body has grown more luscious from the admiration. Old women smile approvingly, and very young women, sensing the flame, are drawn like moths. I am wearing more silk and lower heels and less makeup. The hugs, literal and metaphorical, feel good, life-affirming, validating. Sorrow has become celebration, inebriated by the tactile stimulation, and I need it. I welcome the change. This is a really good space. I am finally becoming someone that people want to embrace. Birth of a New Nation. Just in our world today, we're dealing with so many things. We're dealing with challenges with the economy. We're dealing with challenges with poverty. And there was a book written a few years ago called The Rise of the Creative Class that talks about how we need to do things differently and do things like artists. And basically, I really think that artists and activists and entrepreneurs, they're going to be the new economic heavyweights of the future. Failure clings to the skin. Abuses, refuses, resists rehabilitation. The nation reflects the people, mocks attempts at sustainability, laughs heartily at campaign slogans. Hope focuses on monetary aims, misbegotten gains rule. School perpetuates idiocy, perverse aristocracy, sports business casual, business as usual. The masses shriek as some freak tries to organize the community, avail some expertise, but we wear our failure like armor, brandishing stereotypes like shields, arms spread wide open, falling face first into poverty's field. We write our own rules, we determine what we feel, despising our former lots. We run at our own gate, we choose our own fate. We choose our own fate. We choose our own fate. A thought that offends, not sure where it ends or where it began, but they decide how we'll survive. Hand us jive, turkey mess circa 1973. Social programs in exchange for a bended knee. Huddled masses yearning to be free. Frightened by nappy solidarity. Deny our intellect and ingenuity. Abscond our music and art. Cut us to the quick, then condemn our bleeding heart. Children getting teased in school 'cause they smart. Crush our collective heads so we never get a start.
Tout corporate success as the only viable option. Abort career fetuses with no thought of adoption. Tout corporate success as the only viable option. Abort career fetuses with no thought of adoption. Capitalistic greed and perpetual motion, selling us the profane, but we got devotion. Artists, activists, entrepreneurs, oh my. Spring from barren places, lead the battle cry. Fill babies' bellies with hot bowls of hope, broadening our horizons, expanding our scope. Kujai Chagulia in action every day. Intense, brilliant fire starters guide our way. Create our own revision. Control our own vision. Hard fought, hard won. Hard fought, hard won. Birth of a new nation. Work, play, live as one. Summer of Coltrane. About a year, maybe 2 years ago, I had a dream that I was married to Gordon Parks, and basically that's what the poem is about. It is sort of a fantasy retelling of my dream. I added a few details, but it's a retelling of the dream that I had about being married to Gordon Parks. I dreamt I was married to Gordon Parks. It was the summer of Coltrane, and warm rain fell every afternoon right around 4. And I was more enthralled with myself than I was with him. And Gordon, well, he resented me for it. Richard Roundtree was a frequent visitor. And Gordon always wanted to photograph me in big Parisian hats as if we were strolling down the Champs-Élysées, which was strange because we lived in Black Bottom before the Davidsons sliced the races in half. And even though Gordon was all about diversity and freedom and artistic expression, he gloried in keeping me bound. And I was wrapped around his little finger, and I liked it. During the summer of Coltrane and warm rain, I dreamt I was married to Gordon Parks. I Saw Myself. And I Saw Myself is the title track from my debut CD, and it talks about it's basically a spiritual poem, and it talks about really embracing who you are spiritually. For me, embracing who I am as a follower of Christ, and so that's what I Saw Myself is about. I saw myself, and my ugliness propelled me into the arms of a beautiful Savior. In the light of his love, his beauty became mine, and I and him in me became someone worthy to look at. I saw myself, and I was lovely to behold, because just as the moon reflects the sun, I now reflect the sun as well. I saw myself, and my ugliness propelled me into the arms of a beautiful Savior. Is Sweet Almond Eyes. And Sweet Almond Eyes is actually a love poem that I wrote about my husband. We've been married for quite a few years, and I noticed that people really seem to write a lot of love poems about first love or lost love, and I really wanted to write something about committed, long-lasting marriage. So Sweet Almond Eyes is my love poem for my husband of 15 years. Sweet almond eyes enveloping me, forcing me to see differently beyond my day-to-day to an old-time island way of integrity and slow wealth. Together, we watched our health with smoothies and stir-fries, and all the time those almond eyes registered surprise when gazing at my world. Once tightly bound, now unfurled to be free, almond eyes gazing at me, nurturing me, loving me, not just with flowers and candy, but in a way that is handy and steady and true. And the essence of you reaches out from my hand, but filtered through daily pressures, it may land in an undesirable spot. And still I know that has nothing to do with what you feel, and that's the part that's still real after all these years and after all the tears cried in a union like ours. And see, we're still reaching for the stars because the moon was not enough to reflect the light of what we share. Nobody saw. Nobody was there to help our love, to help us build like lilies of the field or the prize in a box of Cracker Jacks. See, what we have packs more than they can see with the naked eye. So they try to know, sometimes they spy, but it's still unintelligible to them, nonsensical to most. And I really didn't write this poem to boast. I just wanted to celebrate a joy that I found. And I don't care how cocky my glee might sound. See, I'm here for you. And you're here for me. No matter what, that's how it will be. Like tall ships riding on a rough sea, or sweet honey coming from a fertile young bee, or the day that Christians actually realize they're free, or dotting your I's or crossing your T, or like hearing the strains of a favorite melody, or someone paying the cost for an expensive fee, or feeling the shade of a broad green tree, or like the femur connects to the joint of the knee. Don't you get how simple this message be? I am here for you. And you are here I see, with sweet almond eyes gazing at me. You Thrill Me. And You Thrill Me is also from my debut CD, I Saw Myself. And basically, that's the poem that I wrote when I was just amazed one day that I would actually be someone who was performing poetry and performing it professionally and opening at the DIA and doing that kind of thing. And I was amazed by it. And so really, that's my poem, just my love poem to the Lord about, wow, you've given me this gift. Lord, how you thrill me. And see, with you, the real me can rise to the top. No hesitation, no hard stop, just flow. And you actually come down to my level so that I know your will for me. Now, did I mention that you thrill me? In ways I've never fathomed with my limited scope, but more than just giving hope, you produce a harvest, a good crop of fruits. And truly, your love has taken root in every fiber of my being. Now, do you mind if I sing? It's true. Nobody does me like you do. Joy, peace, love, patience, goodness, kindness, self-control, goodness, all around a center of holiness. And how can I miss with the stuff you use? Songs of praise, no more down-home blues, justified, a winner. Now how can I lose when victory is now my inheritance and your shed blood gave me royal parentage? You sacrificed your life and now I'm made clean. Jehovah Jireh, my everything, and truly you are king, and yet you are mindful enough to thrill me. Your Holy Spirit takes care to still me when my thoughts cause a commotion and I'm overwhelmed by emotion. And like a peaceful beach on a soothing shore, you give me rest so that I can give my best to that which you have entrusted to me. Bind up the brokenhearted, set the captives free. Not by might, but by your spirit is what you say. So I must take care not to waste the day. For night soon approaches when we can do no work. Straightforward, no symbolism, no quirk. But while it is day, I listen for your voice. Quick to praise you, quick to rejoice, for you thrill me. And with you, the real me can blossom and give birth. Unmerited favor, unearned mirth characterizes the joy I contain. And truly, life is not the same after experiencing your touch. And there is such a river in me that I can't help but flow to let the world know my testimony. Once blind, now I see the wonders of a world where my God thrills me. Emily was about my sister who passed away about 5 years ago. Just wonderful, creative, free spirit, and that poem is my tribute to her. And it's only fitting because the anniversary of her birth is in about 3 days. Emily was beautiful, really beautiful, in a let the sunshine age of Aquarius kind of way. I once saw her wash her afro in the sink with Dial soap, and I thought that was so dope. The most amazing thing I'd ever seen. And even at age 4, I had to follow the rules, but not Emily. She wrote her rules about style and food and art and the law. She loved Detroit hard And Martha Jean the Queen, most of all, she was a free spirit, international, though she'd only been to Toledo and Atlanta and maybe Windsor. She created experiences, the quintessential impromptu Belle Isle picnic, trick or treating in Palmer Woods for the good candy, vined ripened tomato and English cucumber snacks, forays to the African World Festival, handwritten menu cards for simple tuna helper lunches, barbecues on the front porch just because, and spectacular musical interludes starring Hugh Masekela, Milton Nascimento, Carole King, Jimi Hendrix, Messianic Hebrew praise music, the Scott Family, Gil and Jill, the soundtrack from Hair, Joan Armour Trading, Earth, Wind and Fire, Roy Ayers, Lucky Dube, Blues from the Lowland on WDET, Gary Bart, CeCe Winans, Third World, the Mamas and the Papas, and many, 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 many more. But I must mention Taj Mahal, because there was always, always, always Taj Mahal. I was the last one to reach the hospital, and I wouldn't let the chaplain give her last rites. It was my job, and she had waited for me. She was in a coma, but one tear rolled out of her eye as I read, "You created my inmost being, you knit me together in my mother's womb," Psalm 139. And there was standing room only at her funeral, and I made a mixtape for the occasion. And there was so much laughing and so much hugging, which was ironic because she hated to hug. And after they closed the casket, a distraught ex-boyfriend ran in. And that was the kind of drama that she lived for. So we let them open it back up. Emily is my sister, and she remains beautiful, really, really beautiful. It's love poem number 37, or I Want to Be Verses. And that poem is just about the struggle for poets to really find their own voice. And sometimes poets want to sound like other poets. And I've struggled with that too. So that's what I Want to Be Verses is about. I want to be verses. Spitting about the process out there because I got to get back home, learning to levitate. Filling the air with the vastness of my presence so that you can no longer breathe. Oh, can't I sing honeyed songs like Phoenix, filling your belly with Black Eyed Peas hip-hop sensibility? I want to bask in my eccentricity, getting my funky Al Green groove on like Michael, the dancing poet. I don't even have words for Ben Jones, but can I be that fan for like 5 minutes? And come on, just let me be Masha Jean Carter, the girlfriend's girlfriend, serving up peach cobbler and biscotti R&B style. And I want to be a citywide poet, young, intoxicated by words and my own potential. Etouffee beignet, let me be Tava, celebrating my hips and pursing my lips, ready for the fight. And speaking of hips, you know I want to be Ber-Henda. Una estrella hermosa de la poesía. Yeah, I can do it too, Punchinella. But I can't be Ber-Henda, or Tava, or Marcia Jean Carter, or Ben Jones, or Michael, or Phoenix, or Versus, or Young. All I have is me. My traditional brand of spirituality, fundamental, coexisting with elemental, deep voice, more jazz than hip-hop, more Langston Hughes than Jessica Care, more insecure and unsure than I should be, but honest, giving you full access, letting you see everything, making you a participant in my healing and leaving you reeling, challenging you to examine your emotions, to see yourself, to be yourself, to free yourself. See, through my words, I am one who nurtures, who mothers, who nurses. And you know I can't shake this feeling. I still want to be Versus. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I appreciate you. Thank you.